Hello and welcome to day 96, I believe. I did not quite check, but I know I needed to do my live today, and Babe and I are going to go on a beach date, and I wanted to just come back and relax and not have to do a live. So I am multitasking, not sure how well that's going right now, to making us some sandwiches. Like I said, I don't think it's going. If you know me, you know that cooking is not my greatest strength. So, anyways, like I said, this is why I'm like, I don't know if this is a great idea to multitask, but here we are. Making sure these are frozen, so I gotta make sure I defrost them. Anyways, okay, so welcome to my live, day 365 day. Today we did the first day of Sex Priestess, and oh my god, so in love. First day was awesome. It was epic. We really got deep into why we got to this place of where we are now with our sexuality and overcoming the power of what can come when you overcome this area of this blockage of yourself, right? You're gonna need to lower the heat. And before I went on the call, I was on a call with one of my clients who's a one-on-one intensive. We are doing such powerful work together in just a one-on-one intensive. I cannot tell you the level of growth that is coming from this woman with just Telegram coaching and one call a month and a mini program, a masterclass that she gets included within this. It is extraordinary. It is epic. So with my client, we are also working on her. Okay, definitely need to lower the heat or put on some more butter in here because it is not. We're gonna put on some more butter in there. It is not working. Before we had the Sex Priestess call in the morning, I was talking with my client about the evening that she had and the dream that she had. So we are working also with her on her sacred sexuality and really reclaiming her own body and her own pleasure and really creating a love affair with herself. As this is an area that we have naturally stumbled upon when we were talking through our one-on-one intensive, through the Telegram coaching. I'm like, okay, yes, this is an area we need to work on. At the same time, we are also working on breaking this connection that she had with a past lover that was very intense, extremely spiritual, lots of telepathic communication, lots of connection and communication since she was like 7 years old up until when she met this person in real life, right? And this energy, this person actually is not good. It's unhealthy, and that's what we were doing, working on cutting this tie off because it's so powerful. It was so strong, the level of connection, even without actually being in a relationship. Like they were working towards it and then they couldn't. It was just like, it's like a big thing, but there is something to be said when you have this level of strong connection with a man, with a partner, that even though that it's spiritual, it doesn't mean that it's meant to be. Meaning you have a lot of spiritual connection. There's a lot of multidimensional connections where you keep getting drawn back to this person. You keep getting drawn back to this person, but there's a lot of pain coming with that is not healthy. So with her, we've been working on this, and the one thing that we're at is working on her sacred sexuality. So one of the things I had her do was to create a really beautiful romantic date for herself while she's doing a self-pleasure practice, right? I was like, this is the next step. This is what we're doing because there's still some shame wrapped around it. I'm like, all right, we're going to make this a really beautiful and epic experience for you. So she does the things that I shared with her to do, the ideas that we have come up with. And, okay, now I need to put that over there because I need to cut the cheese. So, cut a literal cheese. Okay, so this is all happening this morning, last night and this morning before giving the Sex Priestess teaching transmission. She wakes up this morning and she tells me her experience yesterday about the date that she went on, or she didn't even go on a date. She went out with her girlfriends, and the conversation, either older, so my client is going to be 48. She's going to be 50 in 2 years. So this is a beautiful, beautiful conversation for any of the women out there who feel that, that if you're 50 years old, that's it. You're not going to find the love of your life, or you're not going to have the greatest sex of your life ever. So, she went to dinner with a group of friends who were older than her, who were around their 60s and 70s, and they were talking about how they met the love of their life later in life, right? That they're currently married with in their 60s or 70s, made them later. Not that they found the love of their life when they were 20 or 30, no. Found them later. Another woman talked about how she was, she was widowed, she met a man that was widowed, and then they decided to have a better sex life because their previous relationships, in their previous marriages, they didn't have like a great sex life, and then they found tantra and how they're having like the best sex of their lives. So this was like all great things that are coming into her vicinity. Lots of evidence from God, from the universe, as Abraham Hicks would call it, little floating logs of evidence that what you want is on the way and that what you want is available for you. Okay. Boom, she goes home. She has this epic experience with herself, with a romantic love affair date night that she created for herself. And I cannot tell you enough, women wanting to have a man that sweeps her off her feet. You have to sweep yourself off your feet first. If you are not your first love, and if you do not make your own self-love a priority, I'm telling you right now, every single man's going to fall short because you are falling short with yourself. The practices that I give my clients are so simple and can feel a little awkward and because they're so intimate and can feel a little mechanical, as me and my client talked about. Like, yeah, it's going to feel a little mechanical in the beginning, but once you get into the flow, you get it. Are life-changing practices. Life-changing practices at the level of self-love that you are giving yourself, at the level of adoration and worship you are giving yourself, which is what you want a man to do for you. And my work, let me tell you, ladies, okay? The difference between my work and some of the other coaches out there who are dating coaches, who are whatever, relationship coaches, is that my work is about breaking generational lines. When I tell you that I work with sacred union love, when I work with breaking generational lines, when I talk about true sacred union love, not just throwing the word around as if it's like any person that you are in a relationship that you feel good with, that's sacred union. That is not sacred union. Okay, that is a relationship. It could be a conscious relationship, but it is not sacred union. Sacred union is that once in a lifetime incredible love that breaks generational lines. And I'm even careful to say once in a lifetime because I don't know if I want to say that. But it's a love that breaks generational lines and curses. After my client did this self-pleasure date night, romantic date night, created an extremely romantic night for herself. She's like, I felt so loved. She's like, when I knew I was coming home to this after the night with the girls that I had, I knew I was coming home to this, and it felt so good, Jessica, to know that this was what's waiting for me when I got home. All right, I need to get something at the top here. Need to make it melt the cheese just a little. So this is is it brisket, chuck roast, and sirloin that I slow cooked. I cook a huge batch of it because Ron loves meat. So he is a big meat eater. So I cook a lot for him. Bread, and this is raw cheese. And of course, raw butter. And just gluten-free bread. Nothing special about it, just gluten-free. So she wakes up this morning and she's telling me, right, first she's telling me about the women and what's the evidence that's coming up in her life. And then, of course, that the night that she's going to create this love affair for herself, she's going to dinner with these group of women and they're talking about sex. How fucking amazing. She arrived late to the dinner. Then she's telling me how she had this dream. how she had this dream and there was a wedding, there was like a huge celebration and all the things. She's like, and then all of a sudden it was like the energy turned to me. And she's like, come here, as a wedding at the beach. Come here. And the woman starts to tell her, she's like, thank you so much. We were waiting for you. We were knowing that you had this, God, I can't remember the exact words, but it's basically like we were waiting, we were watching to see what you would do, and you did it. You did it. And all of this celebration, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm sharing the story. This whole celebration, like, woo! Okay, this whole celebration was because of you. We were all watching. We knew that it was a difficult task. We knew that it was really hard, and you did it. And this celebration is because of you. So my client's telling me she has tears in her eyes, and she was like, it was my future self telling me this. And I was just like, oh my God, so beautiful. It's her future wedding on the beach. And as she's sharing this with me, I'm like, she said we. This isn't just about you and your future self. This is about your ancestral line. This is about generations. This is about the impact that you're also having on other people in your life with what you are doing. Like, you broke a generational curse, dysfunction, tragedies, this distortion of the feminine and masculine. This is the work that we did. This is what that dream was about also. And she's like, Jessica, she's like, oh my God, I didn't even tell you all the other things that happened in the dreams, and the fact that you picked up on that. I'm like, girl, because what we do here is we're breaking generational curses. We are breaking the programming. We are breaking the conditioning, and you are creating, literally through your actions and through bearing really uncomfortable sensations that make you want to repeat the same patterns, but you're saying no more. You are breaking the past. You are breaking what has been repeated in your family for years. Consciously breaking it. Not just one little baby step, breaking it. So she's having this dream, and I tell her, right? And she was like, that whole self-pleasure is because I woken up my pleasure because we did that. And like, she's like, on a high. I'm like, girl, it is not just because of the sacred sexuality work. It's because not even the past 6 weeks of work that we have done together. This is an accumulation of everything in your life. When you had your divorce, when you're the first woman in your family line to have a divorce, and you said, I'm no longer available to be dealing with toxic abusive behavior, and choosing yourself, and now going deeper into the sexuality work, which is another piece for sure. I was like, it is all of it. And she's like crying and and I'm like, all right, next time that you feel this longing, next time that you feel the emptiness of your love, right? Which will come every now and then, right? When you're living your life and you're like, God, I really want I want my sacred union. I want my husband. I'm yearning for him. You can feel him. You can feel the loss of it, or the lack of the emptiness of it, the yearning for it, the aching of your heart. And at the same time, remember this dream. Remember that he is out there, that he is here, and he is coming. He is on his way. You just have to continue to live your life, follow your soul, live your soul-led dreams, and just keep moving forward, because before you know it, he's going to come into your life, and it's going to feel like God brought you guys together, like Source itself brought you together, like your highest self brought you together, like the people in your dreams brought you guys together. This is what it's going to feel like. So I want to share that with you, because number one, the work that I do with my clients is very powerful, very transformative. It's priestess work here. And it's not anything crazy woo-woo that we did, right? So when I say breaking generational curses, dysfunctions, irregularities, there's another word that I'm not saying that I'm forgetting, but when you're creating a new trajectory for your generation, for your bloodline, whether you're going to actually birth new babies into the world, or being the change in your family that they need to feel. Because when you change something, people in your bloodline feel it. and it has happened to myself and to my clients, there is a ripple effect in there. And there was something else I was going to say. I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about the ripple effect. The work that I do is transformational, breaking generational bloodlines, and it's nothing that has to do with anything crazy woo-woo. Meaning, are there times where you go and you see like a healer and a mystic and they do all this energy work and they pull things out and whatever? Yes. And at times that you're going to be led on your journey to do that, or like do a really heavy breathwork section, or do ayahuasca, or do whatever. And the most important work, the most spiritual work that you can do for healing your generational line is the day in and day out work that you do in the real world. It's not about what you do in the mystical world. It's about what you do in the real world. It is making those courageous moves when it's so easy to fall back to easy patterns, when it's so easy to not upset your family, when it's so easy to not upset your spouse, when it's so easy to not upset your family, your friends, your work, or to rock even your financial safety. Like, a lot of this also has to do with money. A lot of this growth. One of the things that I had to break was the fact that I can be my own financial provider when it came to my ex. It was a money thing. With this work, it's money and sexuality work, as well as, those are like the roots of what we're doing here, because a lot of us have been in some form of control when it comes to that, when it comes to the lower chakras of money and sex. Is why we choose certain things, why we choose certain relationships for security, for safety, and we exchange it with sex. So this is really deep healing work. And I'm sharing with you this story. If you're the woman who is like, wow, Jessica, this is a transformation that I want. This is what I want to feel. I want to feel like I'm ready for this level of change in my life, where I don't want to repeat the same patterns that I've been repeating. I don't want to repeat the same patterns that's been going on in my family line. I know I'm different. I know I'm here to make a difference in my own generation. I know that I'm here to have the lover that is about breaking generational curses, generation dysfunction. I want to create a new generational line for me and my family that not only is about me and the downward spiral, like meaning the evolution from your generation down, but it also impacts from back and to laterally. This is the work that I do. This is high level relationship priestess work when you come to work in my world, and we break the dysfunction. I think the dysfunction was the word that I was looking for, generational dysfunction, so that you can be at that high level frequency of calling in sacred union love. It is a love that is healing and expansive. It is a love that you will feel like, oh my God, this is what love is supposed to feel like. This is what relationships are supposed to feel like. This is what it feels like when you're in this level of relationship with a man, creating a better life, a better world, and literally living the life of your dreams. Not complacency, not what just is good enough, not about settling, not about just getting married to get married because you're lonely. No. This is about high frequency love. High frequency evolution, changing the trajectory of your life forever with you and your partner, and for your own bloodline. That's what we do when you work with me. So I'm opening up spaces in August to work with me with one-on-one. So if you are interested in what this looks like, how it looks like to work with me, what this 6-month container looks like, I also have other options for you as well. One-on-one intensive, as the story that I just shared with you was with a one-on-one intensive client. We can go very deep when it comes to our intensives. So message me. I have other ways that you can work with me that are not just long-term or short-term. We also have my goddess experience that I have different courses that are coming throughout the years. So, okay, my talk is complete. I'm gonna have my sandwiches here. We're gonna go to the beach and enjoy a beautiful day with my honey on date night. Thank you for joining me live if you hopped in, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.